Feathers up, y'all.
Feathers up.
What's good? This is a shout out to Dane Calloway for all the work he's done, helping us understand who we are, where we need to be going, and all the evidence that he's presented. Took his time out. Want to give a shout out to the sister PhoenixMoon. She done put us on point with so much stuff, doing our ancestry history, finding out all the goodies and the real, everything that's been hidden from us. I've been finding out a lot of important stuff, telling my relatives and stuff, my mom, great aunties, stuff that they didn't even know about. Their own grandparents, great-grandparents, things they might have heard. Just going through these ancestry records and finding out what they were doing when they got married, tracing us back to this land. It's a lot of things that's been going on, Our brother's been doing a lot of debating and stuff. Y'all, the debating it's nothing to debate. It's a waste of time that you guys is debating with these clowns, these bums. They need to get an upgrade, like they phones and the technology that's around them. They still stuck in the yesteryears, where everything's been hidden from us. The brainwash years. We woke now. Everybody been talking about the age of awakening, conscience waking up. This is it. This is what y'all been talking about. And it's here now. And you can't stop it. You can't stop this movement.
Nope.
It's the truth. And I've been knowing this since I was a kid, knowing I had this in my blood, not knowing I was the people, thinking I was mixed with some other people. Going to powwows, sweat lodges, smudge ceremonies, drum ceremonies, and not knowing all the time we the people. And we wasn't doing it like that. These other cats in tents. We had civilizations, mounds, pyramids, great architecture. So then we're going to go into this right here and present these runaway slave descriptions and things that they was posting back then when the slaves was, I guess, running. There was a few slaves. The slave trade, we ain't going to act like there was no slavery going on. Because the slavery that's going on is still going on today. Our people is selling out our own people. So when you look at what the Latinos is doing, when they come into all these places, down in Texas and all that, California, having houses, one Latino family bringing in 30 and 40 of them illegally and got them staying at their house and working. They busting these houses every day. Got these people in there working for dirt cheap, giving them all their money, leaving them with little scrubs, chump change to send back to their family that they trying to help and support over there where they at. The truth can't be hidden, man. Y'all can't suppress it or oppress it no more. The foolery's over, man. The games is over, man. We're bringing the real. So right now we're going to go into these runaway slaves and the rewards for them. So here we have let's go ahead and read that.
So the reward was $5 and ran away since the 29th of January, 1851. The Negro
Antoine.
Alice.
Elias.
Elias.
William.
William. A well-known juvenile man baker.
A well-known journeyman baker.
About 40 years of age, 5 feet 7 or 8 inches tall. Head, large head.
That's not what it says. What does that say? What's highlighted?
Yellowish complexion.
That's it. Yellowish complexion. Not black. Even though they got some of them listed in here as that, but we know the people, we not black. My son's shirt's black. I'm not black. I'm brown or copper color, like they talk about. Like this right here, this copper colored penny. You see, this is what my wife made. This jewelry right here, copper colored penny. Y'all see that? This is what you're seeing right here. So back to reality. Now we have one. A $200 reward for a runaway sub, it says. Doesn't say slave, but sub. His name is Jim. Has sore eyes, whatever that means. Bad teeth. Is of light black or brown. Light black, whatever that is.
What is light?
Or a brown color. His name's Jim. Y'all peeped that, right? His height's 5'7". Speaks quick. Fast talking, hustler. This ain't nobody coming off no boat. This is a hustler, fast talker and all that. Like you see our people doing today. Fast talking, hustling. So then we have Jack, another one. Very small. Footwears, perhaps. His size is 6 in the shoe. But then we're going to go on to, he's the same height as this guy, and it says, and the same color as Jim, which Jim is described as a light black or brown complected person. And this is by either C.D. Williams. He reported this, or whoever this guy was, or newspaper, in Springs Garden, Pettis County, Missouri, or Harrisville, Missouri. This is June 7th, 1860. Then we'll go on to this one. What does this say?
$100 reward. Ran away from me on Saturday the 19th. Just Negro boy Robert Porter, age 19. Heavy, stoutly made.
What's his skin complexion?
Dark chestnut complexion.
Dark chestnut complexion. Is this runaway slave? Negro boy Robert Porter. Copper, dark chestnut, not black. Here's what you're going to find. All you got to do is Google up runaway slave flyers. And you're going to see these. This is by Dr. J.W. Thomas. Pamunkey, Charles County. So, remember the complexion. We went to the other one. Light black or brown. Now we got this one. Negro boy Robert Porter. Dark chestnut complexion. Let's go into this one. Another Negro runaway flyer. What does it say?
$100 reward. Ran away from the subscriber's farm near Washington on the 11th of October. Negro woman Sophia Gordon, about 24 years of age, rather small in size.
What's her complexion?
Copper color.
Copper color. Copper color. I mean, we can't make this up, man. 1828 definition. Webster's Dictionary definition of American. The copper colored people found here by the Caucasians now apply to the descendants of the Caucasians. So they done snatched up the things from the so-called, whatever you want to call us, Aboriginals, American Indians, all these titles. Yeah, we switch titles just like we switch titles today. They just put the same thing on us and put the bamboozle on us and did the same thing. Start switching up our titles. So we done went from all these other names, just like what you see with the gangs and all that, it's all tribal. You look up the word Crenshaw with the Crenshaw Mafia Bloods and all that. Crenshaw, where everybody be at. Crenshaw is a fruit, a melon. So you got all these gangs. Elms are trees. Fruittown, Brims, those are Bloods. Over by the fruit stands and all that. Fruit carts. Man, all this stuff is, we got Spruce, Alder. All these streets and gangs is all tribal stuff that we representing. The same thing they was doing. When you look up Washita and all that, the people that dwell by the river, CHAHTA. All these things is umbrella terms like with main gangs, and then they break off into these little cliques and stuff. So it's nothing new that we doing. Ain't nothing new that we doing. So y'all can, all the debating is garbage, man. All it is lies. They just good liars. The same way you go into a courtroom. Just because a person get found guilty, don't mean he was guilty. Just that the prosecutor was a better liar than the lawyer he had. That's all they doing is lying. Everybody know that doesn't have a lawyer. That's all this debating is. Y'all bring the truth, and the fake knockoff Africans, the Pan-Africans, them, the Afrikaners, they bring in the lies. That's all they do. That's all they good at, man. They need to tomahawk to the dome, man. These cats is good liars, man. Deceivers. They're the deceivers. All this stuff all around us, and they still preaching that outdated garbage. Where everything's just crying out to you, like the Bible. The Bible be saying that. The rocks will cry out. And here you got all kind of rocks and monuments crying out, showing you who you are. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to go into another one. $50 reward. And this is a runaway from the subscriber on Tuesday morning, 26. My Negro boy he did call himself this, Severn Black. The said Negro is about 5 feet 6 inches in height. What's his color?
Chestnut color.
He's a chestnut color. Has a scar on his upper lip. So all this black and all that, even though it says that he used it, but that don't mean that that's his description. Mm-hmm. That's just what he called himself. But his description is chestnut color. We all know what color is a chestnut. We all know it's brown, copper. It all leads back to the same thing. The Fujio penny, look it up, it's copper. All this stuff around you, it's all screaming to you. The penny that's over there in where's that? Oklahoma. Where they destroyed Negro Wall Street. So-called Black Wall Street. There's a penny there. A giant penny. That tells you about Farmers Bank and all that stuff. Everything what they doing to help out the so-called Negroes. Everything around you, this copper is around you. This brown piece of leather, well put together, is all around you. We all around. The monuments and everything is all around us. So we got all this stuff that's going into all the way. With all this evidence, man, I don't know what to do with all this stuff, man. It's too much. The verdict is in. Y'all false teachers and preachers, you so-called Pan-Africans or whatever y'all is, it's garbage. It's outdated, man. Y'all can't debunk nothing. And for the brothers and sisters, stop debating these guys, man. Stop trying to give them life. They dead, man. They on the deathbed. They dying. We're not giving no mouth to mouth. So stop going on their platforms, giving them life, trying to give them life, man. They dying. Look at their views and everything, man. They dead, man. This is the awakening that they was talking about. They was talking about it, but really wasn't talking about it. Because they didn't think it was going to come like this. This is the real great awakening. The greatest awakening ever. Wake up, my people. And here go another one. Runaway. From the resident of A. King in Street Charles on Wednesday night, the 2nd instant. My servant girl named Anne. She is a bright copper colored, but she's a mulatto. But she's bright and copper color. Now my son's bright copper color, and he ain't no mulatto. But they got all kind of mulattoes. They got dark skinned mulattoes. I've seen all kind of mulattoes that you wouldn't even think they mulattoes. But we dealing with this reality right here. With these runaway slaves and all these rewards and dark. Here go one right here. A Negro man named Hemp of dark copper color. And this right here is in St. Louis, August 23rd, 1862. Most of these in the 1800s. 1854, 1838. $1861. This one don't say.
Yeah. 1860.
So all this stuff is still like in the 1800s. And I'm doing history. I'm doing ancestry history. Further than this, further back. And my people was owning farms and all that. They're not slaves. They're not runaway slaves. They married and got kids. So everybody wasn't in this slavery stuff. Everybody wasn't bound to this servitude. Some people was, but everybody wasn't. Y'all got it like you think the whole dang continent over here was enslaved. Then we got the there's a difference right here, just in the treaty right here. In the 1866 treaty with the Choctaw and Chickasaw. And I ain't gonna read all of it because I done already read it, but right here it clearly shows you where it talks about regulations as may be necessary to give all persons of African descent, resident in the said nation of the date of the Treaty of Fort Smith. So you got all this where it's talking about African descent. Then it goes on to basically the Africans ain't really got too much coming. But then when you get into this, the said further agree that all Negroes, not otherwise disqualified or disabled, shall be competent witnesses in all civil and criminal suits and proceedings in the Choctaw and Chickasaw courts. Any law to the contrary, notwithstanding, and they fully recognize the right of the freedom to a fair remuneration on reasonable and equitable contracts for their labor, which the law should aid them to enforce. So we got all kind of things going for the Negroes on there. Right here, it's telling you shall be competent witnesses in all civil and criminal suits. The Negroes, not the ones right here that's talking about African descent up here. That's really ain't got too much going on, ain't got too much coming. Then you got this African burial ground, which is really, they call it right here, the Negro burial ground. That word African ain't been around that long. But you have the Negro burial ground, which is the original, not African burial ground. Going on right here. So, when we're looking at this, and this is in New York, but then we got to go with some other stuff. Then we got the Negro burial ground, 1830. This right here is in, well, hold on. It says, here stood a Baptist church erected in 1830 through the exertions of a former British soldier, John Oakley, who, although white, became a pastor of a predominantly Negro congregation in 1793. Upper Canada had passed an act forbidding further introduction of so-called slaves and freeing the children of those in the colony in 25. This was the first legislation of its kind in the British Empire, along a tradition of tolerance attracted refugee slaves to Niagara, many of whom lie buried here. Nothing to do with no Africans. Negroes. Negro burial ground. This is in Canada. Ontario. So we got all these Negro burial grounds and stuff going on. Then we got Sarah Rector. Sarah Rector, little girl Sarah Rector, who was a so-called African American. We know that was not no word. No such thing. We don't deal with that over on these sides of the woods. Get scalped coming at us that way. She was a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, best known for being the richest colored girl in the world, or the millionaire girl, a member of the race. That's Sarah Rector. Is it just so happens that she's right there with the Indians? Does this like sit in anybody's head like, wow, like how does this keep popping up and appearing? This ain't about mixing and mingling. This is about the originals, Aboriginals, however you want to say it, American Indians, versus the foreigners, the newcomers, the new kids on the block. And we the originals. Everything we do is original.
Old school versus new school.
Everybody else is just learning. They just learn how to dance and all that. You ain't seeing no Africans or nothing like that. No videos or anything of them moving around like our people been moving in the early 1900s, late 1800s and all that. We've been moving.
Mm-hmm.
We got all this, like, here's this girl, Sarah Rector. Then we got so-called Trail of Tears happening, 1838. Then all of a sudden, Black Wall Street pops up. we get Black Wall Street. Right there in the same hot spot. What coincidence is that? What could that be? What coincidence could that be? Like, wake up, people. Gosh dang, we can't be that stupid. Hey, and if y'all believe that slave trade garbage, man, and I ain't saying that there wasn't none brought over here. Shout out to Dane Calloway and all the brothers and sisters that have been doing their research. Atanchin is one. The brother been doing his research. You know, I got much love for PhoenixMoon. That's a sister for real. CHAHTA in the house. She be bringing so much fire and truth with the legalities and all the laws and all that. But I mean, y'all really think like 12 million? 6 million? Even if it was just a few million? Y'all ain't got no soldiers? No riders?
No bathrooms?
The heck with bathrooms? I'm talking about riders, soldiers, people to war. Y'all just got, how many did it take to get y'all? If they saying it's 300 to 400 on a ship, how many did it take to get y'all? How was they giving y'all away? Was y'all just shackled up and they gave y'all away? How did y'all make it? If they tell you that the so-called Native Americans, they tell you like 95% of them died from the diseases brought over here by the Caucasians. How the heck did the so-called Africans make it over here? If they aren't stacked on top of each other like sardines. Urinating and feces all over each other, vomit. That's a disease in itself. By the time them cats would have made it over here, them Caucasians, them cats would have been dead and gone. They'd have just been dropping the bodies off on the shore. Like, we ain't got nothing to work with. The product gone. Come on, man. It should make logical sense to y'all, man. Gosh dang. Like, I can't believe these people still stupid like this, man. There's so many pyramids in there. I mean, I got so much books and stuff just laying around, just a straight laced knowledge. All the stuff they finding, pyramids. In Guatemala, I mean, look at all the stuff they finding, man. Them cats that y'all talking about, the Mongols, them cats been living in tents. We've been living in houses. We've been making the mounds, the mound builders, building civilizations. They talking about the one in Guatemala. They just found, what is it, 60,000 pyramids? Mounds. Talking about they got roadways and stuff. Like they saying, like, man, these cats, was they driving cars or what the heck was they doing? They got roads and walkways and come on, man. Y'all gotta get with it, man. Y'all gotta wake up. Wake up, Aboriginals. Shout out to Dane Calloway, man. You doing good, bruh. They can't do nothing. They trying to debunk you, not your research. They don't even want to deal with your research. They don't even want to deal with any of this stuff, really. They just like you put a animal in a corner. They trapped. And they going crazy, fighting, scratching, anything to get up out of there. And it ain't gonna happen. We closing in on everything. Because it's the truth. And the truth is so much better. It's time for the lie to go. Gotta get buried. With the bums. And they crumbs. They platforms is dying. And we rising. Man, wise up. You know, wise up. When you wise up, you get wise. Then you tribe up. Because you're a tribe. So when you wise up, then you tribe up, then you rise up. Dane Calloway done showed y'all in the video. People keep asking, how do we get out of this situation? He done just went into full detail in his video showing what them so-called people over there in so-called Africa, wherever that is, the other side of the continent, because that ain't even a real name. I don't even like using the name Africa and all that. But it showed you what they did to stop their oppression and all that. And we the smartest people, but we do some of the dumbest stuff. Like we asking, well, what should we still do? He done showed you in the video what you should do. Boycott. When they go bankrupt, when they ain't got no money and they ain't making no money because you the number one consumers. Y'all talking about the weapons they got to start pawning them weapons off. Getting rid of them weapons that y'all scared of. Talking about they'll nuke the block. Disarm. That's how you disarm them. And then you start running them off. Like they doing over there. So people been doing this research, man. They've been going through their ancestry. Shout out to PhoenixMoon again, sis. Everybody doing their ancestry. And with all that other garbage that the Pan-Africans and all that other garbage they was popping, nobody benefited from none of it but them. Now that we doing it, people finding out that I'm telling. They going doing their research and find out they got land and stuff like that. Their family got land that's unclaimed. All kind of just getting everything back, man, and finding out all these treasures, man, hidden treasures. So y'all got to get with it, man. And what does this say about the $5 Indians? Let's look at these guys.
The Dawes Rolls, the making of a $5 Indian. The late 80s, in an effort...
The late what?
The late 18s.
Late 18 what? The late 1800s.
Oh, 1800s. In an effort to assimilate the Native Americans of the time into white culture, the United States government passed several bills requiring the 5 civilized tribes, Cherokee, CHAHTA, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole, to accept specific land allotments as well as register for what was called the Dawes Rolls. This was supposed to be a way to determine real Indians from fake ones. They set up tents on Indian territories and had their field clerks register natives only using oral testimony and some written records to determine who were real Indians. This less than effective screening process allowed white men looking to get their hands on a piece of guaranteed land to strike a deal, paying the commissioners $5 under the table to be placed on the Dawes Rolls. This helped coin the term $5 Indians. At time, because of their distrust for the United States government, a lot of full-blooded Indians didn't even bother registering on the Dawes Rolls.
A lot of full-blooded American Indians, Aboriginals, didn't even bother registering on the Dawes Rolls,
which systematically shut them out from any future benefits. So don't be surprised when you go to your favorite casino, most of which are on Indian reservations, and find one of the owners who says he's part Cherokee is nothing more than a $5 Indian.
Ha! There you have it. You knockoff Africans, you Pan-Africans, the fake Africans. There you have it. This are the people. So we want y'all to start proving who y'all is. Because we're going through our ancestry and we knowing who we are. On both my sides. My granny, before she passed, who I had a chance to meet, never knew who my father was. Met him later on, a few years ago. Through my sister and them, they found me, his daughters. And we started connecting. Then from there, met his mother and him. And I asked her, plain out, who are we? Are we black, colored, and all this other stuff? She said, we CHAHTA. We CHAHTA, baby. People on my mom's side, same thing. And we all out of the same areas of Louisiana. We all come out of the same areas. Out of Monroe, Louisiana. Richland, Louisiana. Clear Lake, Louisiana. All these areas. The Washita areas, what they call. This is real talk, man. So this is the oral tradition. Nothing to do with no other continent. And I got another bone to pick with these Pan-African, these knockoff Africans, man. Get that title back to the real ones, man. The Caucasians, the Afrikaners, the Afrikaners, the Africans. Stop trying to be everything they is, man. You know, black is pale too. It means pale, colorless. And this, you guys they giving you their titles, and y'all take and run with it. And then we don't want it no more. We done woke up. We giving it back. We ain't even trying. We giving it back. And y'all trying to push it back on us. Nah, we ain't sleep. We ride awake. We wide awake. With Tomahawks out and all that, man. Ready to get it popping. So to my copper-colored people, man, stop these debates, man. All y'all, man. Stop debating these clowns. Stop trying to give them life, man. And nah, we ain't building with these cats. Nah, we ain't got nothing coming with these cats. We don't side with liars, man. It's time to choose up. We don't side with no liars. Like we know they really lying. Really, they really lying. And we talking about, yeah, but we need to build with them brothers and this and that. Nah, we ain't built with nothing that them cats bringing. We tearing down everything they got. And everything they bringing. The heck with debating. They snakes. They've been doing this for a while. They've been doing this for years. They learned good from their father, the Caucasians. And this ain't no disrespect to any, because there's a lot of Caucasians that's pushing this truth and been pushing it with us. Been dying out there in the front lines, dying for stuff they don't even know about. Out there dying with the so-called Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Not even knowing. So a lot of them just trying to correct and be right. And be on the side of righteousness. While y'all out there preaching this bubblegum garbage. Come on, man. That's already chewed up and chewed on. Spit it out. Keep it moving, man. Get an update. It's like the technology y'all like. It's constantly getting an update. So you need to get with it or get lost. So we're going to go to the... Really, we already know. I don't even know where my notes is, but we know December, what was it, 17th? Was the first plane that flew. 1903. I'm trying to figure out what is these maps. That's in the 16, 17, 1800s. That still look like the maps of today. And y'all running around with these African symbols, so-called the land of Africa and all that. When was that? The first plane flew in 1903. When did you guys get these symbols? Where did these symbols come from?